It took me a whopping 5 minutes to come up with all of this. Yeah, 5 minutes. I stopped here and there, but I was pretty much on a roll. 5 minutes. And they could have made a lot with this stuff. The article in question was about Corbin should have been released instead of these other people or whatever. And then I thought, all these times that they had Corbin be a bully and Black was supposed to be a heel, right? That could have been Black playing the role of a heel and intimidating people and, trying to take advantage of the system, that kind of stuff there. Or it could have been Black with Corbin, trying to get rise out of people. So you know how they had the role of Shinsuke Nakamura going up against Corbin because of the whole King of Strong style thing? Well, it didn't have to be for the crown. It could have been anybody in the face role. It could have been Black as a face against Corbin at that time. It could have been Murphy as a face against Corbin at the time. Maybe at the time that Murphy didn't like the fact that Corbin was making light of the Mysterios because of the connection between them, that didn't really get resolved or whatever. They could have just retconned the whole Seth thing, and he could have gone against Corbin, and that could have been his gateway in there. And then after that one, Murphy could have transitioned into something against Apollo Crews, or maybe against Kevin Owens for some reason. There's a lot of reasons. So let me go to the list here and let you know why I chose these particular things. So for I'll tell you, okay, so how people in WWE change heel and face on a dime? Well, that's the reason. So Black and Corbin could have been together against Mysterios. Maybe Black sees something evil, more evil inside Corbin, and he wants to use Corbin for his own gain, and he wants to go up against Mysterios with him. Two birds, one stone. So he doesn't he's like a fatherly character, and when Mysterio's a father, so he wants to team up with Corbin to go up against him for some mysterious dark reasons or whatever. It didn't really matter what the actual reasons were, but Black and Corbin working together sounds a good pairing to me. And then go be Mysterios, that could be something new for the Mysterios. Black and Murphy have a history going up against each other. The whole eye for an eye thing and all those matches on Raw and stuff like that. Well, this time, since they have nothing for them, put them together and had them go up against Seth Rollins and Jey Uso. Why Seth doesn't really have a partner, and Jey Uso, of course, now has a partner with Jimmy Uso. But let's just say that the common enemy is against Roman Reigns. And to get to Roman Reigns, you got to get past the right-hand man. And since the right-hand man has a connection with Seth Rollins, I figure Seth and Jay go up against these guys. Seth and Jay haven't really tagged up together, so they'll be interesting on both ends. Aleister Black and Seth Rollins feud. Aleister Black has a connection to Seth Rollins because of the whole, the eye for an eye thing. I think it was Seth Rollins was the one who actually dug in his eye, and I don't think that Seth really got his revenge on that one. So that could continue from there. It's been since last year. So Black, being a face now, he, on a dime thing, Black can get revenge on Seth Rollins. Or try to, for the whole eye for an eye thing, and they can have a feud there that could last a month or two, something like that. Aleister Black and Sami Zayn versus Kayla and Big E. Reason why Black would be teaming up with Sami Zayn in this instance is because Sami Zayn's looking for a person to go with his conspiracies, and Aleister Black is a person who's marred in conspiracies. So he believes that something's going on with Sami Zayn. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Doesn't really matter in the end. And he's gonna go up against KO and Big E. KO still thinks that Sami Zayn is crazy, and Big E is on KO's side because he also thinks Sami Zayn is crazy, and the whole Sami Zayn obsessed with the whole Intercontinental Championship thing, and Big E had it at the time, so that can go well together. So Black is just there as a co-conspirator with Sami Zayn. Murphy and Apollo Crews, both similar builds. They both look like they carry the IC title very well. So have them fight for the IC title there, and maybe Murphy gets screwed here. Maybe he wants to get revenge. So that could be a nice little feud there between Murphy and Apollo. Murphy and Zayn. Once again, conspiracy stuff there. Murphy's not buying it. Sami Zayn tries to get on Murphy's side because Murphy's used to being a disciple for someone else. So Zayn's hoping that Murphy will be a disciple for him, and Murphy's not buying it. So Murphy versus Sami Zayn. See how easy and simple that is? A lot more believable than spilling coffee on somebody. Fucking idiots. Aleister Black versus Cesaro. Cesaro and Aleister Black, to my knowledge, never really crossed paths in the company, so that's why I chose to do these two. Aleister Black could be going, could be having a thing against Nakamura at the time. Cesaro doesn't like that, and therefore they have a connection, and then they want to feud against each other, that kind of stuff. Murphy versus KO. This goes back to the whole eye for an eye thing when KO didn't get his eye gouged out, but he still feels kind of guilty for the whole that Black got his eye got taken out on his watch per se, and he wants to get revenge on Murphy for that one, and then maybe KO will go back to Seth Rollins as well. There's many different alternate paths you can make for these characters. So I don't want to hear shit from anybody saying creative is nothing for these guys. That's bullshit. You want to go into Mansoor right now? I could do Mansoor right now. Mansoor has zero history. Zero. Nothing. Nada on the main roster. But I'll give you something for him right now off the top of my head. Mansoor just signed with the main roster. He got beat up badly, and he mysteriously disappeared for like a month or whatever afterwards. Not really used at all until this week on Raw, when something's planting seeds with Mustafa Ali for obvious reasons. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, racist bullshit. So, Mansoor comes out and in the middle of another Umberto Carrillo and Ricochet match. So this time it's going to be a three-way match between Umberto, Ricochet, and Sheamus this time. This time it's for the IC belts. And then Mansoor comes out there, distraction finish, and helps Sheamus win. Which is weird because you wouldn't think that Mansoor would be helping Sheamus of all people who beat him up, but yeah, he won. So Sheamus the following week goes back and says, Mansoor, why'd you help me out in the match? Because I want to be, the usual shit there. I want to be the one that beats you for that belt. And then, maybe at the next Raw or next two Raws or whatever, they have a match for the thing. And then, and Mansoor actually does beat Sheamus because with the help of Mustafa Ali, the distraction roll-up or whatever, it doesn't really matter. You know how Raw does. And then Mansoor is now the U.S. champion. And everyone goes, what? Mansoor? He's U.S. champion? Well, what's going on here? It's that simple. You can do anything with anybody. I could have replaced Mansoor with, I don't know, Otis, and it would have worked out similarly. Otis distracts Sheamus in the triple threat match there. Sheamus says to Otis, why did you do that one? I want to be the one that beats you. But it wouldn't make more sense in storyline wise. But Mansoor makes more sense. But it could be anybody distracting anybody. It's that easy to use anybody for anything. If you look at Raw and who they choose to use and when they use them, think about why they're using them. Most of the time, it could have been anybody, anything. So it's all about planting seeds in the back on certain feuds there. Like I'm thinking about one with Drew Gulak and Angel Garza. So like you can do more stuff with them, but they choose not to. Angel Garza is a ticking time bomb of explosion. He could blow up at any time. He fits into a lot of roles because he can be an asshole to anybody in the back, and that can blow up into a feud on television. But they're choosing not to do that. Garza is more of a plain kind of guy. He does have potential, but in WWE's eyes, likely that he's too squeaky clean for them to do anything with. But in reality, that's not the case. He can be rough and tough and beyond, he can get under people's skin. But they choose not to make it happen because they don't want stars. They only want one star in the company. And they're writing strongly for him every Friday night. If you smell what the Reigns is cooking.